So, hi and welcome back. So, today we are going to build a Spotify clone using Angular. So, let me just show you. We have this Angular, and today, using the Angular features, and on top of it, we will be using Bootstrap. We will be using the Bootstrap, and we will try to clone, make a almost copy of Spotify app. So, let's start. So in order to do this, we will be needing Angular, the Bootstrap, the Node.js installed, and pretty much this would be, I think, fine for our clone app. So now, and also, yeah, VS Code. I will be utilizing Visual Studio Code for making this clone possible. I don't know how long will it take, but let's definitely start this thing. So we have so much of components over here. If I click over here, I go back. Okay, so this thing is there. All right, so let's start. In my Visual Studio Code, now I will be opening a folder over here and will click a new folder that says 45 or let's say projects. Let's go over here and select this folder. And now inside this folder, let me just go to the terminal, hit on new terminal, just like this. And inside this terminal, I would be now doing ng new Spotify clone, just like this. Now, obviously, this is going to ask me a few of the things. I would like to have routing. The CSS file would be there. And over here, I will have a brand new Angular Spotify clone folder structure. Now we have to decide how many components we will be making. So I think here we have, let's say, if we go to our home, we have this home section, we have the search section, we have library, we have a create list and like song. But definitely we will be making the playlist section where you can add your playlist. We will search from the available uh, in genre. Home we will be making, and also there's a premium page. So if we go to the premium, there is something like this. So for now, this premium thing we won't be making. We can do the support. I guess we can go for this, but we will keep it simple. We will try to replicate the home page and the login as well. And when we click on the show all, we can see all the genre. Do we have all the files created? Perfect. So we can now do open folder and let's click on our projects. And over here, we can click on the Spotify clone and let's try to see what all things are available over here. So if I go to the source and app and everything, first of all, I would like to have some components. So inside this app, I will now make a folder known as components. And inside the components, now I have to decide what all things are required. So first of all, one will be the components and one will be the pages. What all pages are required in my app? So there will be a home page. Let's say there is going to be. Let's make the components for those things. I go to terminal, and over here we can have now. Excuse me, all the things which are required to build now. I guess. Let's go to the terminal. And here I would now like to do something like this ng generate component, and component should go under the pages. And first of all, I need the home page. Once home is done, I want the search page just like this. Sorry. It will be under pages, it will be a search page, and then there will be a playlist page. Let's have a playlist, PLAYLIST, playlist. And there is going to be a sign up and login page, I guess. Yeah, they will be in this. I will be having a sign up, SIGNUP, sign up page, and let's say a login page. Login. Turn to the pages, you can see we have this home page, we have the login page, we have the playlist component, we have the search component, we have the sign up component. And then inside the component section of this, inside the components, now I would require, let's say, components. Inside the components, I would require a card where I want to use this card. So let's say a song card. This is my song card component. Then after this, I would be requiring a top navigation card. So let's say I need a top nav card. Let's say top navigation card. Then I will be requiring the buttons for this. Okay, so button will be required. So I can have button, my custom button. And I think for now, this will be pretty much it for this. Okay, and logos will copy. No need. I will do all those stuff. Let's now clear everything. CLEAR clear. And now do ng serve to open this app. Till then we have the ng serve. Let's see if this image we can just have some logos. Let's say Spotify logo. Let's go to the images. Let's go to the tool section, to the color, to the transparent. And now let's have the logo. Let's save as. Let's do a save as. And the save as type would be, let's, I want to save image as. And now let's go to where we were building all the stuff related to this. Let's say it was my projects, Spotify clone, source, and inside this asset folder now I will be doing, let's say, Spotify, FY light dot png, and then I also need the green one. Let's save image as, and let's do Spotify green dot. So both of the things are almost ready with us, and now we shall go to where we have this app. HTTPs 127.0.0.1/4200 will lead us to the Spotify app. Now let's go to app.html file, clear everything, and now we want Bootstrap to be incorporated to our application. So let's just include this via our links. So I have copied this, and in my index.html file, over here we'll be linking this style sheet just like this. So I have the Bootstrap available now. And now in the app.component HTML file, we have this everything. Okay. So first of all, changing the title, we'll do something like this: Spotify uh, web player. Let's hit save. And now, okay, let's just do a reload. We have the same thing like this: web player. Now we have something known as this. Two sections are available over here. So this type of look we can have via, first of all, I need to have this color. So let's try to grab the color. What all color schemes are available over here? So I think for now, let's quickly go to another Google section. Say I have some pretty much good things installed where I can have all the functionality needed. So here is our app. It is, let me just check. Google. I have kept all those things. Yeah. Let's open the Spotify app. And now it's here, and we can also do HTTPs slash localhost 4200. Let's say it's 4200. And now we can see a Spotify web player app. Absolutely fine. I have the color picker available, and let's pick up the color of this background. Got it. Now let's use our app.html, and now we can do a div. I can do a div dot class. Div dot. I want to make it. Let's say. First of all, we would like to add the routings. So over here, let's make first of all the home page. So the path to this will lead to the component home component. Let's add this home component over here. Quickly fix this via importing this from the pages. And now in this, I need to add the router outlet just like this. And now I can see the home components available over here. Let's go to the home component in the HTML file just like this. And over here now I can make div dot. And what are the things we have? We have this two sections. You can see two sections are available like this. So now I will be making one section with this. So let's say div dot Spotify home, and in this home we have this uh, Spotify home container. Inside this, I will be making div dot Spotify for E5 home container, and inside this home container, it's two ways. We have one sidebar, so we can call it as sidebar. Okay, and then we have something known as the playlist container. So we can have the Spotify, sorry, div dot Spotify underscore home dash container, and we have the playlist container. Okay, so two things are available over here. That's absolutely fine. So this I'm going to make a row, and then we have a call. Let's say for this I need somewhere around three, and the rest of the things will be aligned over here. Let's say call 9 will be available over here. And now let's just simply try to style these things. First of all, I will be going to take the sidebar, and let's go to the CSS section of this. And here I want to give it a background color of black, and with the height of let's say height would be 100 VH, just like this. And if I go to this section where I have the this container, let's go over here. Now I will be giving it a background of, let's simply copy the background, whatever background we have. Let's pick up the color. We have picked it up, place it over here, give it a height of 100 VH. Let's save this. It's S. So things are pretty much going fine. And I also want one thing which is to be here in this where we have this global styles over here. I would now do that overflow would be hidden. So now you can see pretty much we are getting the same look and feel over here. And if I go to this CSS section of this, to the HTML section, now I can do something like this. It should be 10 and 12. Let's see. So yeah, absolutely, it looks fine to my eyes. Now, to this section, to this where we have this Spotify sidebar container. Now I will be using some flexbox properties to it. So let's say I want to do it display of flex. I want the flex direction of the items to be column. I want the justify contents to be flex star, and I want to align the items towards the center. Let's hit save. And now inside the assets folder, we have this Spotify Lite logo. So that we will be using in our component section. If we now go to our pages, here over the pages, over this section, over the HTML, here, now first of all, I would be doing one div. Inside the div, I will be using image source, and I will be setting it to assets slash. Inside the assets, you can see there is a Spotify light.png. Let's hit save, and in the alternate, I want to do something like this Spotify logo. We can see something like this light logo. Let's save. And this is taking a bit long. Let's do one thing. Let's give it a width of 100. Hit save. And now I can also give it a width of 200. Let's say. Okay. And then I will be giving it a class of M2. Give the margins from all ends. Let's see M3. Okay. So you can see now both of the things are looking absolutely fine to my eyes. I can also do it, let's say M150. Okay. And now I can also give it a text left so that this thing is absolutely towards the left. So this thing is absolutely looking fine now. And over here, I can have a class of, let's say, SHC. Okay. Or we can have something like this, or copy these things. And inside this, these are the items for this. Okay. Item. Hit save. Everything is looking absolutely fine. Now we need these things, home, search, your library. So we can now incorporate all those things as well over here. So I write here, I need, let's say we need a home thing. So I can put a over here and write home. Let's hit save. What is the problem? Let me check. We try to do a div over here and then place a item with home. Yeah. Now everything looks fine and perfect to my eyes. And the another link was search and your library. So it will be a search. Then we have your library, just like this. It's home, search your library, and then create playlist. We also have something known as create playlist. Let's do this as create playlist. Let's save this. And okay, so things are looking fine. And yeah, so now over here, let's copy the styling from this. And inside this we have a A. In this we are going to do text align towards left. That will be important. And the font size, let's say I will give it a 18 pixels. Color would be white. Let's hit save. Okay, so now things are looking fine. We can decrease the size to 16 pixels and see. Okay, so texture line is not working. I say display is flex, direction of each and every item is row. I want to have the justify contents flex start, align items flex start, do them. Okay, got it. So something like this. Let's try to inspect over this element. Let's just copy over here inside this thing. This is our bar. This is the thing. And to this, we give it a width of 100%. And as soon as we give the width to 100%, at that time, we can definitely do this thing. So inside each and everything, I give a width of 100%. Let's save this. Okay, not to this, but if we do this something like this, so now everything is just assigned, and I want some margin to be there. Let's say I want a margin of 10 pixels. Okay, and then focus spacing is there. Okay, and then from the left, margin from the left is required. Let's say 10 pixels. We can have some padding from the left. Let's say is there. Let's give it a padding of 18, I guess. So okay, icons are also required now, and we have this. Let's say we have this top nav. Now we can also incorporate. For now, I will be leaving this just like this, and also we'll be doing one more thing in order to have this look and feel perfect. We'll also try to incorporate few more styles to this. Let's say here I have the A, and on A, when I do a hover, I want the cursor towards the pointer. And if I see over here, whenever we are doing those things, so things are getting simply, so I can do a color should be light gray. Let's say light gray. If I hit save, yeah, we are getting that feel. Okay. So now we have the search, we have your library, we have the create playlist, and with the home action, then definitely these things are looking good. Now we want this focus section. So you might have seen we have created a top nav inside components. When we go to components, we have this top nav. So over here, now we will be creating one div with a class of Spotify top nav, just like this. And now we can copy this thing. Let's have this copied like this. We give it a width of 100%. We give it a, let's say, a height of, let's say, I will be giving it a height of 200 pixels for now. And the background color, we can select it over from here. So this is the color for this. So let's give it a background. Color will be this one. Let's try to save everything for now. Let's copy the selector for this, and in my home section over here, I would then like to incorporate this thing within this tag. So over here, let's do this thing, and this thing is a little bit. Let's just try to grab this thing now. So let's select on this container what we have over here, and we can now definitely decrease the width how much we want. We just have an idea from there. Okay. So yeah, now it's look absolutely fine. So height will be 74, and over here this thing has a padding. So to this thing, I want the padding from the left should be 0 pixels so that I can add all things. So this is also looking good to my eyes. Trust me. So in the CSS section, I will be doing it 74 pixels for the height. I will be now doing a position to be fixed, and from top I need the from it to be 0, and margin bottom margin from sorry margin bottom of each text. Let me just save this, and if I look over here, everything looks to be perfect. And we have, okay, we have some shadow as well. So for shadow, I will be using CSS box shadow. Okay, we will be using the CSS box shadow. And let me just try to have a shadow, cool shadow for this thing. So if I go to my CSS section, and on here I can have a box shadow of this. Now definitely it looks really good to my eyes. I can then have this container thing. And over here, let's quickly style this. I want to have the padding from the left hand side to be absolutely 0 pixels. So now this things look good. And over here, I can see a focus section is written. So if I go to this top nav, here I can have the H2 element to be focus. If I hit save, now I have this focus section written. Definitely, things are not going to end like this. Inside this div, I want, let's say, a class of focus underscore title. Let's hit save, which says me focus. Okay. Then we have here a separate section where it says sign up and login. So here I can have a div dot authenticate. Oh, sorry, div dot here. Inside this, the class's name would be just like this. And then I can have something like this. It's a focus title. And here we have the authentication container where I have div dot in authentication. We have the sign in page, sign up. And then we have another thing which is available to us, and that is known as login, a login page. So if I hit save, so now what I can do here, all the things are available. And let's do something where it says sign up, login. It says SIGN sign up, and then it says me login. Let's save the things, and it's LOG, L is capital with some spacing, and here are all the items available. Now let's also give it a cool style for this as well. So over here now I can do inside this the elements will be display will be flags. Flags direction for this will be row. Justify contents will be space between, and align items will be center. Let's hit save. Now I can see each and everything is available over here. Focus section is here. Quickly see where are our rest of the things. We have entire things lined up. Origin from left will be minus 100 pixels. And let's see my things available. Let's do one thing in this top nav. Let's first of all comment this thing so that I can see a good view of all the things available. So sign up is here, focus is here, and where is our, let's just let me see. Let's go to the CSS section of this. Okay, where we have, okay, we have this thing over here. Let me just try to remove this thing. There is the login thing not letting me here. Right. Just see where is the login text. Can't see this login text, man. Okay, let me do one thing. Let's just change the color of the text. Inside this, the color of the text should be white. Let's hit save. So focus is here, sign up is here, and let's do space around. Okay, got it. Okay. So first of all, the things will go to flex start. Let's hit save. So everything is over here. So this inside this, we also had this thing available. Let's save. Okay. So this is going to be in start, but when we go to this section over here, this section, I want to align towards the end. Okay. So display will be flex. Flex direction for this is going to be row, but justify contents, I need it to be flex end. If I do this much, so everything is fine. And I can also do something like this, that items should go to the end. Then they're going flex, or I can do space evenly. Okay. And then we need these items towards actively, so I do a float towards the right. Okay. But never mind, because we are doing this, and align items to be center. Let's hit save. Gap I need of 10 pixels, I guess. Or let make a 20 pixel gap. Okay. And then this login button. Let me just grab this. Okay. Now this login button, I need the background color should be white. Let's add some padding of 20 pixels around. I think 17 will be fine. Let's add a border radius of 20 pixels. Let's add 40 pixels. Let's add the color to black. Let's add the font weight to be bold. Let's now add the width to be 200 pixels. Oh shit, it should be 120 pixels. Inside this, the text alignment should be center. Okay, width we can also give it 100 pixels, I guess, or let's say 110 pixels. Okay, so the color of the text, let me just now pick out the color for this. Pick up the page color. Okay, it's somewhat related to gray color. So okay, we can have the text color over here to be light gray. The font weight to be bold. The font size should be somewhere around 16 pixels. also increase to 18. Okay, so now things are looking fine, I guess. Okay, so okay. Inspect on this. Click over here. Need to grab this element. This is my element. Justifies self. I think justify item over this will be. Now to this element, okay, I can do flex basis 100 pixels, and then flex grow to 1, or let's say 2, 1. But moreover, we'll be doing something similar to. Let's just first of all see how much basis I want. Let's do this, do this, do this, and now it's fine. So 550 for the flex basis property. So in my focus, where I have this element, the title element over here, now can do something similar to this. Let me just again try to grab this element over here. HTML, what is happening, guys? Just grabbing this thing, pasting this thing over here. Flex basis of 550 pixels, I guess. Okay, and now to this focus, I can do a margin from left minus 100 pixels. Just let's do this thing. Okay, and then let's increase the basis to more of an extent. All right, so 753 pixels, and then I would require it to have a margin from left equal to minus 200 pixels. Let's save this. Okay, so these two things are absolutely ready now. We have this focus, and also this focus should have a font size of 20 pixels, I guess. It's a little big than that thing. The focus is there, and now we have these cards available. So for this, I will be doing something. We'll be making this card, and for this card, we obviously need some fake songs API. So let's say we have something like this: fake songs album API. Let's see if we get some free database for web service API for music. This API is there. Check, do we have this? Do we actually have? Let's simply let's go with this. Pick music album API. Or for now, we can just make a clone data. Let me just make what we have in this card. So in this card, we actually have an image, a title, and a description. Okay. So we have this songs card. Just let's go over here. And now let's take a div. Let's grab the div. And now inside this div, I want this, let's say the name of this is class. Let's say Spotify underscore song card, just like this. Let's quickly grab this thing, go to the CSS for this. And now I would have something like this, that the height of this should be 250 pixels. The width should be, let's say, 210 pixels. Okay. The display should be a flex direction should be column inside this. Okay. Justify contents should be center. Align items should be also center. Okay, and the background for this is a little bit of light gray. So what I will do, from the top nav, we have the color of the top nav, I guess, okay, this color. Then we'll be using the light of this color. Okay, so some lighter color compared to this. Let's do a background color, this. Let's hit save. And if I go towards the lighter shade, then we will have the Spotify clone of this thing. So if I now save everything, let's save this file as well. So now you can see that we have successfully cloned most of the things over here. So if you see this thing in general, just if we see this, okay, we have this thing, this card thing. So now, if I now try to have this card from here, app song card, just copy the selector, and if we go inside this, okay, we have this thing. Now we want to show the section. So I go to class, then I will be using empty 5. Now let's use this. Let's see how this thing looks and behaves if I go over here. So this is a card, and here I want a container to be available. Container is now available, and to this div I will have style dot margin top or style dot padding, and this card should now receive a padding of, let's say, 10 pixels. Or let's say give it a, sorry, not padding, it should have a margin of 20 pixels. Or for now I will have a padding top. Just hit G over here, and now okay, and finalizing the design by using the inspection tool over here. Let's grab a card. Okay, and let's do this container, I guess. This have something. We have this thing. This div we can have. Let's see, 48. We can have 48 pixels, I guess. Yeah, now everything is fine, and card is generally a bit of a round thing, so we can go in over here and we can do a border radius. So have a border radius, set it to 12 pixels, I guess. So now it's fine, and again going to CSS shadow and copying the shadow from over here. Now I can have is the shadow like this. No, not this one, but definitely we'll be taking the one which looks something like this. Okay. So this thing is fine. And now, uh, this thing is also fine. But this thing, I want to make it like, let's say inside this, the first should be Spotify song card and underscore. This will be the thumbnail. HUMB thumbnail section. Then once the thumbnail is available to us, let's say IMG SRC, and then I can have the width set to, let's say, 120 pixels, and the alternate set to, let's say, thumbnail. And over here will require definitely some kind of source. So we say playlist thumbnail, THUMB, NIL, THUMB thumbnail. And this thing now can be utilized by Angular feature which we know as input. And now over here will be doing public. Okay. This thing should be a string. And our input comes from @ Angular core. Save. Let's do something like this. Okay. Then we have the description, and the final thing is so div class, let's say it's a Spotify song card underscore description. And finally, we have Spotify song card. Sorry, it's the the title and the description. Script. Now we can also have both of the things installed over here. Let's give it a title. Let's give it a description, I guess. And from this component can accept few more inputs. Let's say that's the title. That's the description. Just like this. Now my card can accept all those things over here. So title and description from over here. Now here I have this home. Let's try to give it some thing so that you can also see in real how the things are passed. I write title is equal to, let's say, I'm not understanding what title should I give. Let's give a peaceful piano. Let me spell this correct. Okay. Piano. The description for this should be equal to relax and indulge with beautiful. Hi and welcome back to a brand new video. And now we will be continuing where we left off in our Spotify clone app. So if I see over here, because the video length is going to be so long, so I have to build some things. So in the previous video, we have created the card list like this. And I've also created a Spotify playlist section over here. Let me show you how, and rest everything looks pretty much same in our Spotify app. We are also going to cook this login button over here. So let's see first of all in our app where we were building. So let me just show you in our songs card page over here. Everything is just the same. In the previous video, we were accepting 3 inputs from over here. Rest the stylings look, because this course is not for actually the styling perspective. This course is basically for the view of how Angular can be utilized with such actions. And also if you look at the pages over here, the pages looks pretty much similar. Nothing has changed much, and just few things are added where we added this songs card page, some random dummy data, so that we can purely interact with each and everything available over here, just like this. So some data is available to us randomly where I have some title and description over here. And if we look on the app where we see this page, there is a Spotify playlist section, but this carousel, how this thing is made, I have just shown how this demo can be done. Okay, so this thing is available over here. Definitely, please look at this into the sections how this can be made. So, in order to make this thing possible, what I have done, just on the home HTML where we are rendering this stuff. Okay, focus stuff, this one, there is our app song card, okay, and in that I'm taking this taking these inputs on ng4, and this is none other than the things which we have over here, and then thumbnail, title, and description are being rendered over here, just like this. And if you want this slider face, what I have done, it's purely CSS. This is my playlist container. I've given it background of black. Height is this much, padding is this much, and I have set the overflow property to auto so that this can have this slider effect. And on the playlist card section, I have this display flags with gap of 20 pixels. Max width is 1500 pixels. Overflow access auto to this. Height is 100 VH and position is absolute. Putting this properties will definitely have this effect, whatever effect you require over here. Definitely, this thing is now absolutely working. Now, I want like when I go over the search, I should get the search page, and when I go over the your library, so all these things should be there. And in the create playlist section, I should have entire thing cooked up. Before that, we should try to build this login page. So where in the top nav we have this login page. Let's go over there. In the HTML section, when I click to this list section, I should have this login page. So first of all, let me just go into this login button, go to the CSS file of this, and over here, whenever I hover on over this button, let's say I hover, I want the cursor should be pointer in my case. Let's hit save. And now when the things get reload, here you can see effect is there. We can also put an effect over this. Let's say the background should be off-white. I can set the white color, but of different category. Let's give it a color of like this. Little bit, let's say this one will be a little bit black, and then the color should be set to green. Let's give it a color of green so that things can get replicated. Let me just go over little green color. And when I hover over this, you can see now this login button is absolutely working. Okay, this thing is working. And if I click on this, I should go to the login page. We can see here is a login component, and I want to go to this login page. In order to go to this login page in my app component, I need to register this login path. So let me copy this, and if I go to login, the login should show me the login page. Let me just login component, hit save. And now, where our top tab is available over here, I write on navigate login. Okay, this is my this. And in the constructor now, I can import the Angular library, which is router. You it says like router, and here I want the router. Now this router, when you I quick fix this, I get this from Angular router directly from here. And in the inside this, we have a method known as navigate like this. And here I can do slash login, and this will navigate me to login. Let's hit to login. Okay, just one sec. Just let's do like this, where I say like the current route, put a slash on it, and then in the second element put the login thing. Let me just go to the routing file as well so that I can save all the things. If I click over the login, let's try to console log and see if some errors are available. Just click on this. No errors are available. Okay, I got what the issue is. In my top nav, now I want to link this function while I click over this. Okay, so I right click, and now let's link this function over here. Let's hit save. And when I now try to click on this function, I am on the login page. Now let's see how the login page of Spotify looks like. Let's click on the login. Here we have these buttons, login to Facebook and everything. We are not doing that, but we will be surely doing this username in the password field. So in order to do that, let's first try to go into this login page over here. We have a white background. Okay. So we do a div, and in the div, let's say the class for this will be login container, and I will be giving it a container property. Okay. There is a login container, and the entire login container now will be wrapped inside the bootstrap class, that is the container. Container. So this is my property. And now inside this, I want to now link this thing like this. So this thing is now done. And inside this, we want a form which have this login thing. Okay. Uh, these two things are available. So let's put that thing as well. So we have, let's take two divs, or actually, we need first of all two divs. Inside the div, I will now be having something known as inputs for my username and my password field. So definitely, let's just try to input those things. I write over here input type is equal to text. So this is the case. And the placeholder is email address or username. Let me just write the placeholder as email, email address or username should be available. And then there is a password field as well. So let's just copy this thing. And over here, let's write password field is this one. And no placeholder is available. Let me just check. Yeah, placeholder is there. That says only password. It's right password field. Hit save. Now, if we go over here, we have these two things, but we want that this thing should be pretty much in the center. So now in the CSS file for this, I write display is set to flags. My flags direction should be column. I want the justify contents to be in center. I want to align my items toward the center. The height for this container is, let's say, 500 pixels. Let's hit save. So we are now in complete center, and I want to style my inputs as well. Styling the inputs, I want to give it a padding of 10 pixels from inside, and want to make the border as 1 pixels solid black. Let's hit save. First of all, I want to remove the border from this. Let's do it something like this. I want to maintain the space between my elements. Let's give it a gap of 10 pixels, let's say. Gap of 10 pixels would be absolutely fine. Let's look over here. Okay. So little bit of border radius is also there. So I write border radius. Now over here I have this thing, forward your password is now also available, and now I want to align these two. So for this I will be now styling this, giving it a class, or let's say ID of, let's say, remember me underscore underscore login dash btn. Let's use this ID to style this component now, and I set this something like this. I say it a display of, if I just first of all try to set it to an inline, but I want to set flex box. Let's give it a flex. I want to give it a flex direction of row. Let's hit save. Now this is absolutely fine. And I want to style the justify content should be space between. Okay, and align items towards the center. That is also absolutely fine. And to this element where I have this input of type checkbox, this element I would give it a class of, let's say, remember me. Let's give it a class of this thing. And now what I want to do inside this CSS, let's give it a class of this. And now after stating this, that yeah, this needs to be there, I can now write it as that the margin for this should be margin towards the left should be auto, and the margin towards the right should be also auto. Let's give it one more thing, that text align for this will be left. This is coming over here, and I want that this thing should be there. Let's first of all, inside this div, let's first of all format our code, hit save. Over here, let's do this something like this, that the margin from the left should be auto. I think this should have worked. Might be missing something. First of all, here we'll be removing this thing. Let's hit save. Now everything looks same to me. This div is also right. We have this button over here. In this div, this was there. In this div, this was there. And inside this div, now both of the things should be kept inside this element. Or let's also try to make few things like this. Let's say inside this only two elements are present. Let's hit save. Let's hit save. Okay. And now in the CSS, let's remove this thing. Okay. Now this should have been available, but I don't know why this is not working. I think this is because obviously of how things are being aligned over here. This thing, I think these things are not working only because these are then inside one container, I guess. And if I remove this ID from here, then we'll be getting absolutely okay. The case is same inside this. If I remove this, if I comment this thing out, the button is over here. If I remove this thing, then it's like this. If I try to, okay, so let's do one thing. We can do one more thing. Let's remove over here. Let's place them over here. First of all, let's only try to design this login button, and here I can have a class of login and this one is for btn. Let's go to the css property for this, and here to this login I would say that the back, this will be green, this one, and over here the color of the text would be black. I want the link should be, let's say, 14 pixels. I want the border radius to be, let's say, 20 pixels. I want the width of this should be 150 pixels. Let's hit save from both the end to increase the width for this. The color, we can just have the color from here. Pick the color for this button. We have picked up successfully. Let's replace the color. Okay, we can remove the border and set it to none. The border is also removed, and now we can just have the border radius to, let's say, have 24. Okay, so let's say it is 8. Yeah, that's absolutely fine. We can have the font weight set to bold. Let's do it bold. Okay, so now things are looking good. And obviously to the input I can have the height set to 120 pixels, let's say. Oh, that's too much. Let's say 40 pixels. Pixels, too much. Pixels. Reduce it to 60 pixels. Let's have to 40 pixels. 48 pixels. Okay, 50 pixels would be enough. Yeah. Okay, so things are fine. And to the border, I would now give it a color of a bit of grays there in this tone. Okay, let me just try to do it little bit of grayish. Okay, and also we can have the color to the what we have this placeholder as well. So in order to give the color to the placeholder, here I do input like this. The placeholder, I can now give the color set to this. Okay, so fine. And now we have this thing over here. And if you really want, you can also do one thing. Just if you do inspect over here, you can just try to click on this element. And here you can see that this has what the things are required. And inside this, we have this entire thing. Okay. And over here, we have this cool, what we have, this ID in the select box. And then we have the label for this. And then inside those labels, few things are being written up and they together are joined over here. We also have display flags, all those things. So absolutely, that is fine. And there and this log and this entire Spotify is made on React. Now, what I need over here, I want to cook this checkbox, and if I do something like, let's say, if I try to do a input type of checkbox, just like this, and let's give it an idea of, let's say, remember me, and now you can align a label to it with bring it for remember me, just like this, and inside this can have a span where I write remember me, Let's hit save. Uh, okay. And now to this checkbox, actually, I want to do that if in this whatever I have written over here, type is text or to all the input types where the type is, let's say, password. I want to design only those fields. So now you get this thing pretty much fine. Okay. And now if I want to style this thing, we have this input and all those things. To get the club into a span, I think would be fine. And now these two elements will be styling these two elements. Let's say I give it a style of action buttons. Let's copy this, go to the CSS for this. And over here, I do a display of flags. My flags direction would be row. My justify content should be space in between, and my alignment from the y-axis should be in center. Let's hit save. We have these two elements and they should have a line now. Let's go to the effect for this. We go over here, whatever things are here. We have these, and to this I give it a width of, let's say, 100%. Now they are fine, but I want to give it a, let's say, a width of 300 pixels. Let's now give them those respective things. So I think now this is fine. We can give it a width of 401 pixels. So let's go over here, and to this I give it a width of 412 pixel. Let's hit save. Okay, things are much more better. And now these things should be properly aligned. So the remember me was just like this. Okay, alright. Over here we can now do something like this. Remember me. Okay. And both of the things align inside this. So here only I can do style display is flags. Here also we can assign the styles in Angular. So showing you all the possible things which we can do. Justify content is just like this, but I want to justify the contents to flex start. Let's hit save. Okay, so the things are justified. Style align items, and that will be absolutely to the center. Hit save, and the things are fine. Or we can do that align items to stretch. Okay, let's give it a gap between both of them. So style dot gap for this will be, let's say, 5 pixels of gap would be pretty much sufficient. And the color for this input we can assign from over here, style dot color, and the color would be old. We have this ID remember me. If I go over here, I'll save the changes of there. If I go over here, let's say ID of this, I want to give it a color of this. Let's hit save. I think this should be something. So I do padding from left is 10 pixels. It should be, I think, margin. Okay. Let's do this as, I think, 7 pixels. 4 pixels would be fine. Yeah. Yes. So these are looking good. And over here, to just remember, I want to give it a bold, so we'll be using the strong tag after all. So let's give it a something like this. And now this remember B is absolutely fine. We can obviously now style this as well. We can give it a, let's say, font size of 20 pixels. Obviously, we want to give it a height. We can do height. Let's just inspect on this element just over here. No height, just wanna increase if I do the font size. No, I think the width and those things are required over here. Yeah, the 15th width will be fine. I give it a width of 15 pixels. Let's hit save. This is ready, and on top of it, we have this Spotify logo, so we can do that as well. If we go to our login page, over here we have this container, and above the container, we can now give a HR to give a line break. This is our line break over here. And below the line break, you have this Spotify logo, so we can have something like this. I give it a div of class of container, and inside this, I want to have the image source set to asset slash images slash, and now we need the logo, that's the Spotify. And for now, let's place the green.png to check if this thing really works. So it was not in images, but it was directly inside this thing. Okay, and let's give it a width of 100, I guess. Okay, so let's give it a width of 300, I guess. For now, what I will be doing, grabbing this thing, okay, and removing this thing. Let's give it a image over here, and then this HR. Let's save this. Or you can also assign this so that we have this full Spotify logo. And obviously for this HR, let's try to remove this thing. Let's place this thing again. And if I do this something like this, style dot width, or I can do one more thing, go it to HR. Let's go inside this file now to this CSS, and over here I can do the width set to 100%, and then the border set to 1 pixels of solid of black, 1 pixel solid black. Let's hit save. And now we have this line as well, and now you can see we have this login and the password, we have the remember check as well, and we have this login button as well. And below we need one more line break and don't have an account, so sign up for Spotify. We can also place that thing as well over here. So over here, if I do write on this and now place a HR over here, let's see what we get over here. Okay, so things are looking pretty much good to me. And now what I will need to manage the style for this. So I do that for this, the style dot width width should be, let's say, 50%. So if I hit save over here, we can decrease to 40% as well. Or let's say this is up to 20%. Let me increase to 30% of width. Now this thing is looking absolutely similar. So we don't have an account. We can write the text over here now. We write it inside strong tags, inside the h3 tag. We can now write don't have, I think don't have an account. Let's do something like this. Okay, and I think we can go with h5 as well. Let's try to go this with a h5. Okay, and I think if I do something similar to this, okay, do something similar to this, and in the CSS where we have this container, I think, okay, here we can also do it something like this to a 600, and if we go back to our this file, the strong tags now should be covered with h5, I guess. So we have this don't have account, and then we need this sign up for Spotify button. So that thing can also be put it over here. So I write button, and inside this button we will have SIG and sign up for. And what's that text? Let us check. Spotify 45. So we do something like this. We have this button now, and in the pages we'll increase the size to 670. Okay, and to in order to style that button, let's try to give it a class of login button. Let's give it a size of this. And now I can go over here and give it a style of width of, let's say, 30% selection. We have this sign up for Spotify, and now we wanna remove the color, so we can do we can now, or we can do this as sign up button, as a sign up btn. Copy this, go to CSS file for this. Over here, I'm now going to do it. I'm going to replicate this button. Let's simply go over here, copying this thing, going over here. Let's first of all copy this entire button. We place it over here into the HTML. Now we select this class, and now going to the CSS, back to the CSS, we place it over here. Hit both of the changes, and now we need the width we have set it. So we don't need the width. Rest everything is fine, and we need that it should be the background should be white, and the border should be 1 pixels solid, and this should be, I think, light gray. It's safe. So things, or give it a width of 2 pixels. Okay, and the text should also go with this, I think. Let's give it a, okay, and I think, okay, the color is light darker, so we can have it a gray in both of the ends. Hit save, and now the page is done. So we have successfully created this page, and if we go back, we can go back over here, or if we click over here, we are to this login page. Okay, we have the sign up and everything. If we go back, we are again ready over here, and if inside this, if we go back to sign up page, we have this sign up form available. Okay, so for now, we won't be able doing that page as well. But definitely, you have seen how you can do all the stuffs in Angular. So definitely, you will try that thing on your own. And here is our login page. And also, we can definitely have what all things we require. But definitely, for now, I will be going back. And now, let's try to have the login cooked up. So if I go to the login page in the login HTML, let's quickly create some form controls. I do public username form control. Form control is equal to, let's say, new form control, just like this. I can have public password form control is equal to new form control, just like this. Now I can have public user form, what we did in our classes as well. So this is a type of form group. Now we can import each and everything from the Angular world like this, and things are now fine. On the ng unit, we can do this dot user form. This dot user form is equal to new form group, and now we can assign both the values over here. I write that the username is equal to this dot username form control, and then finally my password is equal to this dot password form control. So this is fine. Now let's go to the HTML page for this, and where we have the entire form towards this login. Let's create a form tag. Place everything. Let's go to this login form. Here, now we can type the name. Okay, you can type the name and get that person logged into this. So let me show you how you can do that stuff as well over here. So on this, I now want to give the form group, and the form group will be as user form. Okay, so I give the form group over here, and now I can have ng submit handler function to submit the form. I write it as submit, just like this. Hit enter, and now I can have this form cooked up over here. And in order to use these features onto our Angular module, we want to now import reactive forms module, which comes from Angular forms. So I do it's reactive forms module, just like this. Hit enter, do a quick fix, add it to the import section, and now everything is done. Let me just quickly get the entire full window, do a save all, and now we have this thing. Now this form can be easily available if you write the name, and you can now console log the results. Over here, if I do this dot user form dot value, you will get the value over here. Let's just try to do something like this. Hit on console.log, just like this. Okay. And here we can also add the validators. By default, the values will be null to this. And then we can add the validations as well. I write validators not required, and the validators dot email support if I want to add the validation. Okay. And the password, I can have that the validators dot min length, and the minimum length should be, let's say, 4. Let's say now if I open up my inspection tool and to make console section over here, now what I can do, I can try to type, let's say, Siddharth at the rate gmail.com, and over here I can do 1 2 3 4 5 6. If I click on this button now, where I this button, if I click on the login, you can see these are the things which are available. Now these things are not available because we have not till date connected those fields with the form control field. So let's go to this input, and try to do form control is equal to this, and then we can connect our password control as well to the template of this thing. So I write form control is equal to password form control. Hit save, and now if I try to just to sid at the rate gmail.com, like password 2345. Hit on the login button. You can see now I get the data. My data is purely available over here, and now I can do whatever things I need. So this is how you can do the form over here. Now let's try to go back to the page, and here now as soon as we click. Now, if we go to if we go back on this and we go to the search, we have a search field over here. The similar field we also wanted in our field. So let's go to our top nav over here and we'll go public is search field visible. And over here we will set it to Boolean and public is false. Just hit save. It's field FELD like this. Let's hit save. And now we want that this thing should be easily viewable. If we go to the home, this field is not there, but here it is visible. So in order to write this field, let's go to our top nav. Okay, we have all this stuff. Let's go to the one another div. We are going to have another div, and where now we have input type is equal to search. Let's hit save. And now in our app also you can see a field is available over here. I can do one more thing in my what we have here. What buttons? The title field. We have this title. Let me just try to give it a margin again, I guess. Now, I need this field to be present there. So what we can do now? Let's try to write this field here. Let's do now what okay, put it over here. But let's see if I can input this as a list item over here. Okay. So the search is also available over here. You can see clearly over here. I have this search field also. Now this search field can directly get linked with this. And first of all, we need to style this search field as well. Okay. So in order to style this thing, let's simply go to the uh, give it a class of, let's say, search playlist. Search playlist. Now let's simply copy this, go to the CSS section, and here we can do something like if we want to give it a style, we give it a border none. We first of all set the border to none. Let's see over here. Okay, we give it a width of, let's say, 350 pixels, just like this, and then I give it a border radius of, let's say, 20 pixels. So now let's hit everything. Let's see everything and see. Okay, we want to give it a, let's say, height of 100 pixels. Huge. Let's give it a 50 pixels of height. Okay, let's give it a 40 pixels of height. I think now this is good. Okay, and now inside this we want so it will be input dot this, and now inside this I want to style my placeholders. So here I can do input dot search, and for this the placeholder will be color will be gray color. Okay, hit save, go to the HTML. And what is the placeholder we will now catch from over here? The placeholder which is quoted over here is what do you want to listen to? Right? What do you want to listen to? Let's now hit save and I get this thing over here. Now we can also assign this thing with more focus. Now let's go to this tag. Here to this placeholder, we have the placeholder over here. So we go down, down, down. I think some padding should be there, and let's give it some things. quickly. Over here, let's say that the padding should be 10 pixels. Let's say let's give it a 14 pixels of padding. Okay. So the font size should be, let's say, 14 pixels. Okay. Font weight should be bold. Okay. Font weight, let's say 400, 500. Okay. The lid spacing should be, I think, 1 pixels. Not it should be not 1 pixel, but 1.5 would be absolutely fine for me. Okay. So this is also visible to me now. And once if I now go, I can also do input, search, and then let me just open the color of this gray. Okay. Yeah. So what do you want to listen to? And now here comes the observable thing. So this search icon I will be integrating afterwards. For me, it's most important that this thing should be only available if we are on the search page. So how we can do that? Let me show you that thing as well. For that, I will be requiring a common service. So over in the apps, I will be now making services. And here in the services, I can now make a file toggle. And I say toggle, or let's say search bar dot service dot ts. And now let's create a service explode class search bar service like this. And because I want to provide that in root, so I will be doing @injectable. Injectable and like to now provide them inside the root provided in root. And now can import this injectable as well. This is done. Now I want to show public is search visible. And now this will be a new behavior subject, behavior subject, behavior of type boolean, and the default value will be false. Now let's also import this from RxJS. Quick fix, add all missing imports. Let's remove this, hit save, and now this is fine. Now let's go to our home section. Let's go to our home section where we have the pages, we have the home, and we click on this home section. Here on the constructor, now I can have this as P stands for search bar service. And now I can now import this over here. And here, now on the click of search, when I click this thing search, let's say I am now clicking on this, on click of this search. on navigate to search, I'm gonna go over here. So if I click over here, now I can do something similar to this. And here I do this dot sb dot is visible dot next and set it to true. Okay, I think you are getting this thing. And now this subscription can be easily be subscribed by the top nav component over here. So let's go to the component. In the component, I have the top nav. Let's go to the TS for this. Let's also inject another dependency like this. Let's go over here, hit save, and now this SB can be utilized. And the things this can be utilized is that I am now going to have a subscription over here. I'm going to subscribe to the value. Here I'm going to get status. And now I'm going to do this dot is search visible is equal to status, just like this. And now this field can be stored in a ng if condition where I write if this is true then only be visible, otherwise don't be visible. Now let everything get. What are the issues? Let me just check. Let's go over here. Property okay over here are in feed. Okay, so here also you need to assign the type as boolean. Save, and now everything is fine. As soon as I click on the search, this thing is visible. And now on each and every click, what we can do, let's go to this on.html, just like this. And now we are over this home page. Click on this HTML path. And now we can click on each and every page. Let's say search on navigation. We can do something like this. Let's call this thing, and inside this we are just calling the page name. Let's say this is home. Okay, home, search, this will be library, and then this is going to be playlist. Save. Now everything is done. We go to the TS section, we give it a on navigate, we accept a page name over here. Let's say page name is of type string, and now we check if the page name is equal to search. At that time we do something like this. Else whatever the page name is, we send it as false so that I can hide that thing. Hit save over here. On navigation is the function name. Hit save. I click on search, I get this. I click on home, rest everything is gone. But when I click on search, I get the search bar. So this is also quite visible. So I will continue in the next one. Till then, bye bye. Have a look on this, do a play pause, and get to know more about the Angular, how we can create each and everything that is possible. Each and everything that is possible in the vanilla JavaScript and vanilla TypeScript, that is also possible over here. We'll see you definitely in the next one. So now we are going to make the audio player for this. So let's simply, our app is running where we left off in the last. So here when we click on our home, this is our home tab where we have these things, and then we were having this playlist section, We also made the login page, which was similar to this. And then we also had this search where we could type something and get things done, just like this. And we also have this clear button, if you can see over here. Okay, so everything was available with this search. So I think everything is looking similar. And now what I want that if I go to your library, I should be able to have the song played. So what I will do now, if you go to your W3 school section, we have a type through which we can play our audio. Okay, and here with this player, we also have playback speeds, and we can choose a playback speed as well. There is a lot of playback speed also available, so I will now see how I could do all the stuff in this. Let's copy this and let's go to, for testing this purpose, for testing purposes, we will go to the let's say if we can place it anywhere. Let's say I am going to place this in your library section. So let's just go simply to our what where we have this HTML file, and let's just comment out this thing for now. Now everything will be reloaded. Actually, let's check if everything is fine and working absolutely fine. Let's just have a look over here. Let's see. Let's scroll down, and yeah, everything is building. First of all, I have removed this outlet, and now let's see if this thing can work. And for this, we also need some songs. So let's download one song. Let's download a song, let's say Michael Jackson. It's it's dangerous. Song download. Let's try to download the MP3 for this. Let's download this and we can then try to have this thing played. I click over download audio for this, downloading the audio. So we have this audio downloaded. Let's go to the download section. Let's copy this. And now we will try to paste this in our working directory where we are working currently. So over here in our project section, we have this Spotify clone under the source and under the assets. Now I will be placing this song. And now let's link this to our songs menu where we were having that thing. So in the SRC section, I will be now doing this asset slash, and when I put the asset slash, let's just link and I will get back to you. So you can see this thing is playing. Okay. So what we can do now, let's have this our app. Let's also go to our page. Okay, so we were developing the site over here. Now what I need, if I click on one of my page, I should be redirected to another page. First of all, let's try to click on that. Let's try to go to the HTML file like this. We can go to our pages. Let's click on home. Let's click over here. And now I want in this playlist, I should navigate to this songs page. Let's create that component over here really quick. So I am going to make a ng generate component, and I want to go to the pages and want a particular song page. Okay, so this component will be treating a particular song page. So I think that's absolutely fine. And now this song page, I want to link it with the, let's say I want to link this with something like this in my paths section. I want to link it like this, where I have, let's say song slash, and now I want to inject a dynamic route inside this, so that I can place whatever song is available, that song can be provided over here. So I need that some ID will be provided to me over here, and the component rendering will be on song component. Let's quickly fix this at the input. Uh, do I have the input at import? Not importing. Let me import song component from this. Let's hit everything save. I think the save is now working. And now I write here that it will be a song ID. That's absolutely fine. Now let's go to our home where we were having that all data. We were having the song data over here. Now let's try to give it song ID. Let's say the song ID is 1. Similarly, we can have another song. We can give all the songs IDs. Let's say this is 2. Let's say this is 3. Okay. And similarly, we have song ID 4. Just like this. Now let's give it a song ID of 5. Then I will say song ID of 6. Then we'll be having a song ID of 7. In my case, it's 7. Then it will be song ID of 8. And finally, it will have a song ID of 9. So total 9 songs are available over here. So this thing is done. Okay, so this thing is done. Now what I can do, whenever I try to click on a sound, okay, let's simply check where a song card is. This is a song card, okay. And now when I now try to click on a song card, let's do a click on this. Click. This should now, or I do router link, and the router link now should be forwarded with, or I can do something like this, router link, And let's say for now the router links goes to slash songs, and let's see what the routing was to song. We had this song, we had this route as song, and with this I want the ID. So ID can be now easily be available when we do something like this inside this song sound. Let's do a dynamic ID injection. Let's make it a dynamic thing, something like this with a plus of. Okay, I think you are getting the point what I'm trying to do. And here I can now have this, and here I can do sc dot sound song ID. Let's hit save. Now on our URL, this should now pretty much hit the path. Let's see if I click on this. It was over. Let's check. It shouldn't be just like this. It should be like this. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's make a click on this. And one click on navigate to song over here. Okay, and I click on navigate to song. Let's do something like this. And when I'm trying to now go to the songs, I will receive a song object over here. Let's give it a type of any. Inside this, I will be now receiving the song. And now I want this dot router. I want to inject the router over here now. Let's go to the constructor section of this. The constructor is available over here. I do private router, and let's take the router from this thing. Router is now available. Go to the quick fix like this, and here I can now do this dot song, sorry, this dot router. Let's router dot navigate, and now I want to navigate to, let's say, slash, and then it's song, and then it's slash, and then it's song dot song ID. Was it song ID? Yeah, it's song ID. Okay. Now click on this. Let's see if we have some errors. Click over here. Go to the source. Inside the source, zone, we have this home ts file. So I click on home.ts just like it. And let's do a debugging over here. And now I try to. Is it going over there? Let me just check. Home. Okay. Alright. And I do something like this. Okay. Home slash one. Song works. Okay. So it should be like this. Okay. Why is this thing not working around? Let's check. We are clicking on this song, and then this should really work because this has the entire iteration to it. Or let's say we can do one more thing. Let's remove this function from here. Let's remove this just like this. Let's also remove the router from this class. Let's remove this. And now what we can do, we can supply the entire song ID over here. We can do it something like this, song, or let's say ID is equal to song ID, which will be sc.song ID. Now let's go over here, and I'm now trying to have the input from here, let's hit on public. Let's hit on the song ID, or it was ID of type string. Okay, just like this. And now I can do on navigate the song just like this. Okay, now I can do private router. Let's import this router. Okay, now I can do something like this dot router dot navigate, and where we want to navigate, we can also make the URL for this, and the URL is song slash, and we can do the dynamic thing over here just like this. And now this will be this dot ID. Hit save. And now on the HTML part of this, ID is available. Okay, and if we go in the songs card, now ID is available. I can have this ID as string or number. Now this is also working absolutely fine. And now on the button section, I wanna do register a click event, and on this click, now I wanna go to the function whatever is asking me to. Let's simply try to go back, open up the console section. If I go, now things are available, but now I want to see what IDs are being forwarded. We want to see what IDs are being forwarded to this thing. Now this is the ID, and on each iteration we are also sending a of song ID to this thing. Okay, and for reference as well, we can just try to print the ID with this, so that we can have, yeah, ID is there. I do ID, print the IDs. Let's see if IDs are available. No, I can't see the ID, I guess. No, ID is not visible. Let's see why the IDs are not getting distributed. By the way, I'm passing the song ID. Yes, this song ID is here. Yeah. Here we are also passing the song ID just like this. This ID we are passing this ID. Let's give it a song ID name. Song ID. Inside this, now this is a song ID. Hit save. Now here it will be also a song ID. Let's hit save. Go back. Do we see any numbers? Okay, so this is over here. Okay, so that thing is working. Okay, got it. So now what we gonna do is over here, let's go to the HTML, and actually for now, let's simply do a comment for this thing. To this, but actually we want to pass the IDs over here. Yeah, let's pass the song ID like this, and it will be sc.song ID, just like this. Let's hit save. We have the song ID 1, we have the song ID 2, and similarly the song ID 3, so everything is available. Now here, the song 1, in the song 1 card, in this data where we are providing data, now we can have another thing, song link. Okay, So now here we are going to provide the link for this song, and it's under assets slash. We can get it's DENGEROUS dot MP3. It's dangerous slash MP3. Now when we go to this file, we have something like this. Now we want to make a div. Okay, we want to make a div class will be MP3 player container, and it will be a container fluid. Let's now simply select this class. Let's go to the CSS for this. Let's do a display is of flags. The flags direction for this is defined by let's say column. Justify contents toward the center. Align items toward the center. Give it a height of 500 pixels. Let's save everything now. And now we wanna design this page. Okay, so to this page I wanna give it a style of, let's say, the background. If I do the background color, let's say it's black color, you can see everything is just fine. I do it of 100 VH, everything is fine. Let's go back and let's now take a page color from over here. This color will be absolutely fine to me. Let's hit save. Let's go to the song 2, and now this is what thing. We can also have gradient. CSS gradient maker. Now we can generate a CSS gradient. So I take two colors. Let's say I'm now taking a black, green. Let's say a green. I'm taking green with a color of black, like this. Okay. And now I wanna rotate the degrees. Let's say the green is 180 degrees. Okay, and the 0 is also 180. Let's do it on 0. Now I wanna let's say the black one is, let's give it at 90. Yeah, so this is looking fine. And now give it some shade of iris. Now let's simply have this background. Now over here I can paste this background. And now I have what I wanted. Now one more thing what you can do over here when we go back, okay, so you have this login page that looks absolutely interesting. And now when we click on the song, we have this page now. Over this page now I can now give card. Let's say it's a div of class, and here I will be showing all the things which are required. Let's say I wanna have this MP3 player card. It's a MP3 player card. Let's simply select this thing. Put the CSS for this thing now, just like this. And here I will be doing a display of text. I will be doing a flex direction of column. COLUM column. Border will be 1 pixels solid light gray, and the background color would be background color. So this would be some color which I have took it from over here. Okay, let's grab that color. Absolutely, yeah, we'll be having this shade of tone for this. let's go to the CSS file for this. The background would be over here. I want the height should be, let's say, 400 pixels. The width should be set to 100 pixels. The border radius should set to 20 pixels. Let's save everything and see what we get. Okay, this is the thing. Let's remove the border for now, I think. Okay, and it should be justify contents to center, align items toward the center. Okay, and from top, I need it to be 40. Okay, now we can have the shadow. That's CSS shadow we need. Now let's copy this, and now over here I can place the shadow quickly, real quick. This is also looking fine to my eyes. This is what the look I wanted. And inside this, I can place my data, whatever data I require. So when we are going over here, now I can have a audio player for this. Let's say now we can have what we have in real, while we were doing all this stuff. Let's copy this thing. Again, copy the thing over here. And inside this, I want this player to be available. You can see some nice things are available over here. We can also design this a bit. For example, here we have some background which we can see clearly. And with this, now let's say inside this element, so this background, I can have a color of red. Match to what the main thing I have. Let's hit the page color. And to this element, I'm now giving a style dot background to this color. Okay, let's hit save. And now this looks me clearly nice. And now what I need, or now what else I need is whenever I'm going to this page, okay, whenever I'm going to this page, now this thing should really grab the data. So for this, I can also utilize the feature of using a service, because now the data is going to be available from our songs card. On the songs card, we have this. We have the data, and we can send the data back to this song card page. So here I will have a thing called as song data service ts. I can do export class song data service just like this, and I now need a public song data which is going to be of type subject, and the subject is of type any, and that is equal to new subject, and the default value for that will be absolutely blank. Let's say it will be a blank thing. Now, in order to provide this to the entire class, I would be requiring like this, and will be providing it to the root of the classes. Let's simply import this at the Angular code. And now in the songs card, I will be injecting this over here. Let's say this is private SD for song card and song data, and we can now import this like this. If I go to the SD section of this, and when I'm clicking over here, I can do SD dot next, SD SD to song data dot next. I can now provide the data over here, and the data is going to be thumbnail. The thumbnail is going to be this dot playlist thumbnail Then the title for this is going to be this dot. Description for this is going to be the description is going to be this dot description, and the uh, link. I also want the link now. Let's say input. We need the public link, and the link is going to be of type string. And now this link is going to transfer via this dot link. So now I'm using that subject from the ArcGIS. I'm now doing a next that means please provide this data to whomsoever this song data will be subscribed to it. So now I'm sending this data to all the components who are interested in subscribing to this. Before doing this, from my home section, now what I need to forward my link as well. So you can see here I have the song link that will be transferred. We do a link is equal to sc.song link, just like this. You can do just like this. And if I go over here, you can see link is available. I'm still going to find this on the same. Okay, no problem. So I'd say that this thing as string. Oh, you can do, let's click on this, and this thing is a string now. Let's say this is of like this. Yes. Type string and definition, type string and definition is not enable type string. Okay, what we can do now? Or where I'll say, yeah, this is the link. Definitely the thing. And now where inside the data I have this thing. Let's grab this thing into all places where I have this. I shall now give it a blank instance where for now I don't know what the link could be. Let's give it a blank instance because that key should be present in all the available fields. That's absolutely fine. And now the data is being provided, is being sent to this. Now the same exact thing I need to take from where I'm going to subscribe to this. Let's go over here, and now we can go to the songs page just over here, and now we can subscribe to this. Let's say public song data. Song data is of type any. That's absolutely fine. We are now subscribing to this. Let's say I'm subscribing to this. And now I can do this dot sd dot song data dot subscribe. And over here now I'm going to get the data and I want to assign this dot song data is equal to data. Definitely this thing is absolutely fine. Now whenever I go to this here on this, I'm now going to get this file. And the file will now be available via song data dot link. Let's hit save. Go back. I click on this, and what happens now? I think this is pretty much ending on the data. Let's go back and now try to link all the things so that we can see our things are working. Here, let's have a MIM of SRC, and this is going to be a link song data or thumbnail. Let's see if we get this thing over here. We're not providing the data correctly. Let me just check my subscription. That is, I think what we are doing absolutely fine. We're subscribing to this thing, and if we go to our home section over here, the things are thumbnails, song ID, and everything is available over here. Let's go to this section where we are on this. We are doing a next to this thing. Is also fine. And then over here, okay, this thing we can check just by doing an inspect on this. Let's do an inspect. Okay. And on the source section, okay, now we are going to check for this thing. Let's go our song TS over here, and as soon as we click over here, we see that we have some data. Or we can also do one more thing. Can read properties of undefined. Okay, okay, got it. I would be now doing in the songs file. Where I have this HTML. I can use this question mark so that I can know, yeah, whenever this thing is available, do let us know. We click on this. We still have some problems there. And in the song section, over here where we forward this thing, we can now also do a console log towards data, what the data we are getting. So on the first instance, nothing is there. But when we do subscribe, remove this, we get the data as follows. So the first, okay, we are clicking the third one. Okay, let's click on the first one. So this is the first one. Let's now remove the instance from here. Let's go back. Let's hit reload. Let's click on the first thing. We are getting this again. Let's remove this. Let's console log. Actually, we wanna see the things available in the console. Click on this. We get this thing. Okay. Let's go back. Let's click on this. We get the thing again. So definitely things are working. Things are being provided over here. What I see. But when I'm trying to place it over here, things are not available for some reasons. So let's just try to have some delay. Let's give it some delay. Let's say after a set amount of, say, 1 second, proceed with the data. Right? Let's click on this. It should be something like this. This should be available. We have done the next this, and then navigate to that page. We are doing the next to this thing, but okay, let's try one more thing. Let's go to our song section here, and now this link we can try to print it somewhere. Let's say we want to print this over here. Let's do print this song data dot. Let's try to print this. Let's go back. Let's click on this. We are not okay, we can also do something on it. We don't need this variables. Okay, we don't need this entire thing available from here. what we can clearly do, we can click it to a public, and inside this we can access the data now, something like this. Let me show. We can do something like this, sd dot song data. Okay, song data dot. Now I can access this thing async, and from this I can access the link. I'm not getting why this thing is not working. Let's click on this, see what all things are going. Move this thing, remove. Over this, remove this thing, and this is not fine. This is also fine. Here we can see we are getting this data. Let's just try to print the title for this. Over here, let's have H1, and here I want to print song data, not title. Passing this thing from a songs, we can see over here. We are subscribing to this thing, and when we click on this, just like this, we do a next to this thing. Okay. On this, we do a next, and then we have this dot link data should be available over here. Thumbnail, everything is going fine. And on this song card over here, if we definitely click, if we go over here and we try to place the link like this, it's under asset slash dangerous dot mp3 mp3. It should save. Now we have this thing. No returns. Deep in the dark. And we didn't talk. Okay, so here we are getting that thing, no problem. So we can do another thing. Another approach is also available, where we can then render all those things, whatever we require. Hit save over here. And now let's click over here. Let's also remove this thing as well. And now here, where we are just doing all the stuff, another thing is like, while we are sending the data through to our navigation, we can also send our data as well. So here we have this, and here we want to provide a state. In the state, you can provide the entire data. So here, let's say I can now provide the data over here. Let's comment this thing. Okay, so the entire data now can be sent over the state, just like this. And now this data can be achieved from where we were getting that thing. Yeah, over here we can now have private activated route. We can have activated route. Here, just grab this thing. Now this means that from my activated route, whatever route is provided to me, from that I want to get the data. Okay, so from the params, now I can do a pipe on this, and over the pipe I can now use the map. Here I get some data, and I want to return window dot history dot state, just like this. I want to return this, and now I can show you the data which is available when I do a subscribe over this. And I do a subscribe, I do a data. Now I can do a console dot data. Hit save, and let me also do a console loop so that you can see what I'm going to show you. Let's remove everything from over here. When I click, you see the data is available to us. We have the navigation ID, we have the description link, thumbnail, title, everything what we require. So from here also we can somewhere also use the data. So here I do this dot song data is equal to data. Now I can do something like, if data is available, then take the link from that. If I now click on this, okay, sorry. This should be, let's see what key we were providing while we were clicking the data from here. Song card, we were having this thumbnail key. So if we click on this and go over here to the HTML file, we have this thumbnail key. Let's go back. Let's click on this. So you get this thumbnail, cool thumbnail over here. Okay. So definitely we can have this thumbnail over here. We can have the width as, let's say, 100. Let's go back again, click on this, and you can see a thing over here. Let's go to the styling section, and into this we are doing everything as flex. So let's go to the HTML part of this. Inside this, now I want different divs. Inside div, this thing would be there. Then inside a div, you will be placing this thing. Let's hit save. Okay. For now, I am only interested in playing the song, whatever the song is there. So here I will be doing, if the song data is available, then I wanna have the link to this. Let's click on the first, and now I have the link. And we can also do one more thing if I can show you. Here inside this, I will show this card only ng if based if the link is available. And if the link is not available, then I can show something like this. Let's do something like this, where if the link here I do, if the link is not available, sorry, if the link is available, I'm going to show this card. But if the link is not available, then I will be doing a conditional rendering, where I will be showing this to my users. H1, no song data available. I can show something like this. I think you are understanding this thing, what I'm trying to show you. I can do something like this to show to my all the people, like, this is the thing, we have nothing to show. Okay, so this thing can be done, or you can truly do something like this, or one more thing can be done. We remove this thing over here, just like this, and we can do on init as only if not this, if not this song data. dot link, then we do this dot, and now from here you can have a private router, router, or a UTER router, or a UTER, and from here I can do this dot router, okay, dot navigate, and then I want to navigate back to the page. I click on this, okay. I can do if this dot router is equal to null, or this is equal to undefined. I can do something like this, or operator. Let's click on this. And another thing is, instead of checking for entire thing, we can do if this is equal to undefined, then navigate to blank. And this can be done after we have got the data, just like this. If the data is there, then absolutely fine. If you can see, and also here I can see dot link is blank, okay. So here the link is not blank, but here also link is not blank. But now we can check if the link is equal to this, then we are not going to that link. But if the link is there, then we can definitely go to that list. So this is definitely a thing. So we can also show a window alert to users, like window.alert. We say no song available or selected playlist, selected album. Let's hit save, and when we click on this, no song available for the selected album, no song available for the selected album, no song available for the selected album, and then we can also do something like this, and something like this, selected album with, and now we can show the ID for this. So we do this dot song data, and we just need to forward the ID for this. So we can go to the section where we were providing the data. Here we can also give the ID. So this is dot song ID, just like this. Now this also has the ID. So I can do dot ID over here. Get the ID. Let's hit save to everything. And when I click on this, no song data available for selected album with ID 3, with ID 4, with ID 5, with ID 6. Okay. So with ID 2. And if the one is available, then surely we are going to play the song. That's also absolutely fine. And the last thing what we wanna do over here, inside here, I wanna render src, the Spotify icon. We can see src is equal to assets slash Spotify underscore. Let me have the name of that icon is light, ligst, png. And now when I hit save, I get assets. Let me spell this correct. Assets. Okay, and here we can have a width of, let's say, 200. Totally fine. Now this thing should be placed inside this. Okay, why this thing is taking flex of, it should be a row. Inside this, it should be justify content center, radius, display, flex direction column, justify content, space around. So weird reasons this thing is not taking. A. So this thing is treating it as a row, but this thing I want that everything should be covered. Let's see. Remove this thing. So this thing is only just like this. Background for this. Like this, whatever images we are using. Let's say I'm using a IMG. Background color should be set to HSL, where I have 0%, 12% code. Let's hit save. And then I would just have a manual line break and then get this thing done, but I'm not getting why this thing is performing the way I want it to be. Never mind, I can do it something like this. I can hit save, and to the CSS for this, now I can have the display set to column. Absolutely fine. And here, to the image tag, where I have this image tag in my songs section, here I can also keep it a transparent. Absolutely fine. Can have some padding, let's say 10 of padding, 20 would be fine. Or let's say I am having a margin of 20 pixels. Yeah, definitely can have 40. Okay, okay, so this is fine. We have all the things cooked to this thing now. And if you want, we can also have a H1. Let's play. Don't know why the elements over here are taking so much of press. I think that should be pretty much fine. Here the song is available. We go back. These all doesn't have any song. Let's try to add one more song. Let's say we have something known as what song we can have. Let's say we have Zuban. Let's say download MP3. Let's connect to the net, I guess. Let's connect to the net to download another one music. Okay. Let's now simply connect to this. But definitely, if also you don't require all the stuff, definitely we can now have this thing. Okay, let's do right. I think we are now connected. Let's go and search for the song what we require. Let's go to the site where we can have this thing downloaded. Let's download this thing. And now we have this thing as well. Let's go to our download folder once again. Click this, paste over here, and the name is Zuban. Let's quickly copy this, and this is a format of MP3. Perfect. So let's go to our file where we have the data for this. Let's go to the home, and let's say to the fifth item we are now providing this link. It's under assets slash this dot mp3. Now 1 2 3 4 5 we go over here. Okay, so this was pretty much it regarding the thing. Now our app covers the making of a user ID. Okay, we can make a user ID just like this. Okay, we can also go back. We also see how we can have a search bar like this. We also see how we can have this section division. We also looked on how we can have a conditional rendering like this. We also see how we can have the looping. We also see how we can have this style. We can have this scroll bar section type style. We also, so if we click on this, how we can have something like this. Okay, and then we can obviously go back and also have this conditional check where we check for each and everything. Okay, where we are clicking and the rest all the things are available. So I think we are done with this. Also, while you want to have some sorting that some filtering that can also be done. If we go to the search, we write something using this names, we can then sort the things available over here. So let me also show you how that filtering can also happen in our app. So now let me show you how you can implement that as well. So in the top nav, okay, the main data is available in our home.html file over here in this browse category section. Okay, now I want to filter over this. So how that thing can happen, let's see. Now you can see when we click on the search or we click on the home, we get all the focus and all those things. But when we go over the search section, here we want to type and we want to filter over this. So that thing is available inside this component section. In the component section, we have this top nav. Okay, and in this top nav, I want to put a event over here. Let's say I am putting key down event, key up. We can also do key up. We can also check on change. Let's do on change. I say filter, browse, filter browsing list. Okay, we do something like this. And now what we are going to do, we are going to supply input and outputs to this. Now what I need, let's do a formatting on this. And now I want to provide the field data as output to this component. So I write output, just like this. I can have a public. I write input filter result, filter res, which is of type event emitter is equal to new event emitter. That's absolutely fine. Event emitter is a Angular's inbuilt class which helps us to something, whatever we require. Let's remove this undefined mark over here. Okay, and inside this, if I go over here, let's take the reference of this field as input search ref. And inside this, we are going to now pass this input search ref just like this. And here I know that I'm going to have the input element, which is of the HTML input element. And now I'm going to do something like this dot input dot emit. We are going to emit some value, and I want that input element dot value is going to be emitted from here. Now, in order to catch the value, we just want to have this thing, and the top nav is directly a child of this. So here we can have something like this is equal to this. I can do on input filter res. Now copy this thing. Now here I can get each and every term whatever is provided to us. Here we are going to receive the event, and let me show you this event on window.alert function. Whatever I type, I will be now getting over here, and this is going to be our type string. And here I'm going to receive an event. Let's hit save, and now go to the search section. I write whatever is available now. I will be able to get this thing. Okay. So one more thing. Let's do a console.log on this dollar event. Now here from the top nav we are getting this thing, and over here we click. This is our output. Here is the thing, and this thing has been provided from the HTML itself on change of this input. Let's first of all see if we are getting some output or there is some problem with this. Let's go over here. Let's go to the first section. I tried to write something. I'm not getting that. Let's go to this. Here I have placed this search element. Here let's try to do a console log. Let's check if we get over here input element. Okay. Let's go to the search. Let's try to write. Okay, let's do one thing. Go over here. Let's give it a type of text for now. Let's go to the search again. Let's try to write. Okay, we are getting the things. No problem. Let's again do a search over here. Hit save. Remove everything. Go to the search panel. Okay, we are getting all the results. But now I want to do it on key down. I want to access the data on key down. Remove everything. Let's do input. So I'm getting the data. That's absolutely fine. You saw I'm getting the data. If I go to the HTML, now if I show you on window.alert, you can see we will be getting the data. Let's go to the search component and I write I don't get, then it's D and it's DS. So we are getting everything. And one more thing which we can do, instead of key down, I want to have the data on key up. Now this thing is also fine. We are receiving the data over here via the output strategy. And now we want to filter on our array. Now we can do something like this, that this dot browse all is equal to, and first of all I will be making a copy of this. Let's say browse all copy is equal to this dot browse all dot slice. So this will make a copy of this. Now I can do this dot browse all is equals browse all filter, filter, I can do the filter on this, and now this will accept a function. Okay, this will get me the item and the index, and I want to search if my item dot includes whatever I'm writing. Let's say I'm writing this event, that thing is available. You can say item dot title. Okay, here we have item. Let's now search EOD. Okay, you see something was done, but now what I want to do, if here I can call something like this. Code over here, and now I can do if item includes this, then this dot, then return that item, else return me, return me. Let's say I want to return the copy. Let's hit save. That's absolutely fine. What we are doing here, this dot this is equal to, or we can also do something like this. Just not copying this like this. We can have the slice like this. If this is the thing, if my item dot title dot includes this thing, then return that item, and also we can again check for this thing. Okay, otherwise return me the entire slice of that. Okay, so like this also we can do this stuff. So the main purpose is, whenever we are writing over here, we want to filter, and when we push it back, like when we just return all the data, like we don't want to do it at that time, we can also have all the things based on that. So let me show you one more thing. Let's say this is the stuff. Okay, and the slice, what does the slice do? Slice copies your entire element. Okay, so also just let me show you one more thing. I do this dot browse data dot slice. Okay, I do the slice for this, and now this slice contains the actual data which is need to be available. So we had our login, we had a search, we had our everything done into this. Excuse me. Or there's another thing, you can also check for the truthy thing as well. Let's say if I do this .browser.includes, and what it includes, $event. Okay, but actually we want to find on the actual array, so we can do if the browse.filter. Okay, here we are going to get the elements, and we want that if the element, let's do this element dot title. We can also do something like this is equal to $event, and here we can do that the entire element should be two lowercase. Now let me show you this thing as well, and then this will return me some result res, and now I can now console log this res, console log res, hit save. Let me open up my inspection tool. Let me go to the console section, the search, I write PODCASTS. Okay, now you can see here I got the data. Okay, so here my data is available. Now I can do made for you. You see at the end I again got the data. Now I do live. Okay, space STREAMS. Here also you can see this is available. So this was if this thing is actually there. Or I can do if the title includes $event. Let's hit save. Now let's see what we get. If we go to the search section, I write A. Right now A is in all 6 elements. Then I do a back. Now on the back I again get all the elements. Okay. So what I do, I write TAMIL. Okay. Nothing is there because that is finding that thing is available. Okay. If I do pod cast, this thing doesn't include that. But I want to check for the exact same thing. I want to check if this thing is available to this. Only then I can find the perfect match. So I do PODCASTS. Okay, something like this you can do, and make sure that both of the things which you are providing is two lowercase, and this thing, the event, is also two lowercase, and also use the trim function to trim extra white spaces if you have. If I go to this section, I do pod cast. Now I got the data is available. But if I do something like live streams space, but then also those space will not be considered because still the data is available. Okay, so this is how you can do all the stuffs available. So this is how we have built our Spotify app. You can do things in this app. This is not just the end. This is just the beginning of your being of you being a perfect Angular developer. So definitely try all the things on your own. And if you like and enjoy the journey of being and able to understand the Angular to its full capacity, do definitely give it a try. And this was the entire journey with this project, how you can, and what are cool things you can do with the framework, how it's easy to maintain each and every component and all the things, modular approach, RxJS, and how it is easy to download and install all the apps, whatever are available like this. You can do the entire thing, whatever is required. The same thing you can add, subtract, all the things are available while you do communication in between your apps. So thanks for watching, and I will see you now in the next course.